Hello, this is Matt from Ace Appliance in Toledo, Ohio. Welcome back to another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. What we have is a Samsung side-by-side refrigerator. We're going to be replacing the fresh food defrost system. So what we're going to do, we're going to remove the two Phillips screws that are in the back here. They're really sunk in there deep. And this unit has been defrosted for 24 hours with the doors open to let the block ice that we have formed back here thaw out. It looks like we might still have some ice. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and remove the light covers here. You can just use a flathead screwdriver. And you get two more screws here on each side. Alright, you gotta kind of reach back and disconnect your harnesses that go into the wall here. And this is still kind of frozen. We still have that block of ice around the evaporator fan motor here. Everything else is thawed out though. So this is basically our whole defrost system sitting right back there on the evaporator. What we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and remove this cover here. That gets us access to our electrical harnesses for the defrost system. And disconnect it just like that. And basically we've got a heater which runs down here. There's going to be a fuse right here. And a thermistor, and I believe this is also another fuse that's in line with the heater there, and that's all going to come with the new evaporator. Alright, basically we've got our complete system here, thermistor, heater, everything. We're just going to more or less disconnect this defrost system and put this new one in place and hook it back in. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get rid of all the zip ties that are on here, which we only have a couple here. And we've got this clip here that's going to hold the thermistor in place. We'll start with that. You can use a flathead screwdriver. I'm using a tack puller to sort of open that up. Pull your thermistor free. And we've got a couple little tabs on the side of the fuse holder. We're just going to go ahead and snip those right off since you don't really need to reuse it. Pull that right out. Okay, this piece here, we got a new one. You can just pull it right off. Sort of bend your evaporator cover back a little bit, like that. Sort of lift up and just gently pull the evaporator itself out. And we've got brackets that need to be bent out for the heater here. Alright, and just gonna go ahead and pull the heater straight out the bottom here. Okay, we just have this little fuse piece here. Just very careful that you're not going to puncture the evaporator. Alright, so there's the old parts. Okay, and whenever we're back here working behind the evaporator, we always take a CO2 tank and just out of precaution just blow out the drain line. These units are very well known for the drain lines to ice up, and a lot of times they'll just basically build a whole block of ice all the way up the backside of the evaporator. Sometimes they can be construed as a defrost system issue when really in theory your drain line is just backed up. So we're just going to blow out the drain line here and with CO2. Jeez, my dad tightened that thing down. And then usually we'll run like a cup of hot water down there just to make sure it's totally clear. Just dump it down there. Make sure it's draining out, you know, where there's no obstructions, nothing's backing up, which it's draining just fine. Then we're going to go ahead and pull the evaporator out again just a little bit. We're just sort of pressing the heater up into place and bending the brackets back. And just kind of work your way up with your connectors. You've got the little thermal fuse here. And then put your thermistor back into the cover there. And basically double check everything, make sure it's all mounted up properly. Go ahead and push the evaporator back into place. Bend your cover back over like that. You just want to make sure that your drain pan and everything is aligned with the hole. You don't want it to be shifted over to the side. You'll see your drain hole right in the middle there. All right, we're going to go ahead and hook our main connection back up. Just like that. All right, we're going to go ahead and put our metal electrical cover back on here. So we're going to go ahead and put the evaporator cover back on. Just have your two plugs here that are going to hook into the back side of the wall. Okay, got that hooked in. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put our screws back in. Make sure you feel them bite, because that one panel just wasn't quite aligned, and I went to put them in and didn't want to bite for me. These are kind of cracked from probably just installation at the factory. They over tighten those screws, but it's not going to affect operation at all. Alright, well, what we had to do is pull it back off and make an adjustment. That evaporator has to be sitting in there just right. Basically, you want to make sure that this is sealed perfectly. If it's not seated right up against the back of the evaporator, you're not going to have a watertight seal, and the unit is going to leak for you. So we took it back off. We put our bottom two screws in first. Now we're going to see if we can seat the top up here. Okay, so that went together a lot better. We've just got our two screws. Go in the middle here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put our light covers back on here. That's going to complete the repair. Thank you for watching another quality video from ApplianceVideo.com.